everyone, Misty here. Welcome to, an update video. So it is September the 12th, I think, Wednesday, September the 12th. I've been absent for a few weeks again. For those of you who are new, hello. I've been documenting kind of my weight loss efforts with keto, but over the past few months, I've been documenting my struggle with depression, and it's been a hard, what are we on, 5 months. This is probably the hardest and strongest bout of depression that I've dealt with. So the last time I talked to you guys, I said that I was going to go see my doctor to have my medication changed. And not long, like 3 days later, I got a call that I had an appointment the following week with them for a diabetes checkup from like June, I think. So both of those things happened, and I changed my antidepressant, and I started something for the diabetes. So we'll start with the depression, because that's been the absolute worst. I went from 450 milligrams of Wellbutrin to Cymbalta. And honestly, I knew by the third day that I felt better. Unfortunately, it's just not, the only way I can describe it is my give a damn's busted, or I have a case of the fuck it's, because I don't find joy in anything anymore. I can't, I have zero motive. I don't have any motivation to do anything. I don't enjoy anything. I just feel like I'm just, I don't know. And what's weird is I felt fine for a few days, and then I got sick and I've been dealing with that for a week and a half now. So it's just been, I don't know what else to say. I can't, if you've never experienced it, if you've never lived with depression, if you've never, felt that way, and it's not true for everyone. I mean, some people get it to the point where they're suicidal, and luckily I'm not there yet, and hopefully that's not something that comes to fruition, but it's just hard to explain unless it's like the myasthenia. I can kind of give you an idea of what it feels like on a daily basis to feel so weak and unable to do things, but until you've actually experienced it, I just can't make you see. I always explain it. It's imagine you're moving and it's 115 degrees outside. You've been carrying, 150-pound boxes for an entire day. That's what it feels like. That complete breakdown in muscle strength is what it feels like after I take a shower. And that's what I did. I got it this morning, took a shower, etc. So I already feel like I've done a full day of labor and I've barely accomplished anything. So I just think that I feel like I'm in the stages of grief, and I'm in the depression stage. And if that's true, then I know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, that I'm just moving through the stages of grief. Honestly, that's the only thing that I can come up with, is that, I feel like was in denial maybe I feel like I've been moving through the stages of grief. And for those of you who've been with me since my diagnosis last year, you've probably seen it. And I just hope that's what this is. And again, that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And hopefully within the next, month or so, my body will just be or my mind will be okay, we've been in denial. We were angry. We've been in denial. We've been depressed. Let's just accept it and move on with our life. And hopefully I can get to that point. As for the diabetes, so I've been on Cymbalta now for 2 full weeks. And again, I do feel better. I feel better than I did when I was on the Wellbutrin. But again, I don't know. I think there comes a point where medicine can only do so much, and the rest of it has to be taken care of, you know, either through therapy or just time. I mean, my grandmother passed away in 2000 and I still grieve her sometimes like she just passed away. So I know grief can be fickle and grief can be long. There's no timeline to grief. So, I mean, this isn't necessarily, what I've experienced isn't necessarily the loss of a human, but it's a loss of part of me. Like, and for those of you who are like, what is she talking about? I had to leave my job because of the myasthenia gravis. I barely leave my house. I just don't have the muscle strength to do much. In fact, yesterday I got a package from Stampin' Up. UPS delivered it and I stepped outside to get it. And that's the first time I'd been outside of my house since the week before. And the week before I went to the doctor on Tuesday and caught something. So yeah, it's so damn hard. And I don't know, it's just a battle between both sides of my brain. That's the only way I can really describe it. It's like one side of my brain, the logical part of my brain is like, you know, get your crap together, Misty. Let's, you know, film videos and let's, you know, take care of business and let's do all the things that you enjoy doing and what you want to do and get you back in a routine and do all these things. And then the other part of my brain is like, I don't care. I don't want to do, I just want to read. Like, I just want to bury myself in fiction and not have to worry about anything else that's going on. So it's a struggle. I have a feeling it's always going to be a struggle. I go see my neurologist next month. So hopefully seeing her, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. And that's the problem. Excuse me. I'm not sleeping well. Even though I take sleep aids, I'm waking up like at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning after going to bed at midnight. So that's probably part of it too. But I've also been sick. I went to the doctor on Tuesday, the day after Labor Day, for the diabetes checkup, and I caught something. I was sick all weekend long. I think it started on Thursday. And it doesn't help that the weather here in Dallas, why I love it, it's been absolute, like yesterday it got like 75 degrees, which is unheard of sometimes in September for us. It's also been very humid for a week and a half. And I don't know if anybody else, humidity is a trigger for like their sinuses or whatever, but I've had a headache for a week and a half now. I don't think it's a sinus infection because I don't have any, I don't have any mucus or anything like that. It's not any of that. So I don't think I have a sinus infection. I think it's just the pressure is giving me a headache, and that hasn't helped either. So it's been rough. So as far as weight, the last time I weighed in, I was 370, and then I weighed in, I don't know, last week at I weighed in at the doctor, the first appointment, at 368, which put me right around 366, 365 without my clothes, because that's how I weigh. And then the next time I weighed in, the very next week, I was like at 375 at the doctor. So I haven't weighed at home. I mean, it doesn't matter because nothing I do is going to change what's happening. So I'm not that concerned. I went to the doctor, like I said, on Tuesday. How many times have I said that in one video? For the diabetes checkup. And before he even took my blood, I was like, I can promise you my A1C is going to be either 8.5 or 9. And it was 8.9. I knew it was going to be. My blood sugar for the last, 3 months hasn't been under 190. No matter if I'm being strict keto, no matter if I'm doing carnivore, it doesn't matter. Every time I've had blood work done, and I've had blood work done twice a month for the last 3 months, it seems, my white blood count is elevated. I'm on immune suppression therapy, and I'm a diabetic. So my white blood count being elevated means there's an infection somewhere in my body, and that causes blood sugar to be elevated, blood glucose to be elevated. So I basically begged him not to put me back on insulin. I was like, please, can we not go back on insulin? Please, can we not? Because I've been frustrated that I've lost and gained the same damn 10 pounds since like March. And 95% of it is my own fault because I can't get my brain in the game. But it also gets very, very irritating and disheartening when I'm doing everything that I need to be doing and it's having zero effect on my body. So I don't know. It's just back and forth with my brain. Excuse me. So anyway, he and I talked. And he was like, I want to get the blood work back. He said that I want to sit down and compare your A1C from the last few times we've had it done, what you've been taking, and then we'll come up with a new plan. So he did that, and he put me on Farxiga. And if you're unfamiliar, Farxiga, it's the commercial with the lady dancing. And they say, if you're allergic to Farxiga, don't take Farxiga, which is so flippin' helpful. So I started that on Tuesday, yesterday. Now, I have reservations about it. Or I had reservations about it because it's basically a sister drug to Invokana. And for those of you who don't know my issue with that, I see a mental health therapist, and he is also type 2 diabetic, and he was on Invokana for 8 days. And by day 8, he was in the hospital with organ failure. He basically went into ketoacidosis. And so he lost like 13 pounds in 1 week. Like, he was really excited. His blood sugars were doing fantastic. And then all of a sudden, he was in complete organ failure in the hospital because of Invokana. And Invokana and Farxiga they're a special, classification of drugs. But what they do is they basically pull the sugar from your blood, and it goes through your kidneys and your bladder. And so it can cause yeast infections. There's an increased risk of bladder cancer. I mean, all medications have side effects, for sure, but I allowed my endocrinologist to put me on Invokana back in 2016. Actually, it was right after the myasthenia started, and I was having issues with my thyroid, and I'd been taking off Victoza, even though Victoza had been working. So when I'd been on steroids, so my blood sugar was in like the 300s the day I took it. Like, I think my fasting blood sugar was like 330 or something like that. And by the end of the day, it was 97. And I was like, nope, not taking that. No, it's not worth it. I'm scared to death. I'm home all day by myself. Luckily he had issues on a Saturday. He was home with his family. I'm home all day by myself. Rob is an hour away by train, then another 20 minutes away by, bus. And anyway, again, probably, I don't know. So I was really apprehensive about Farxiga, but he started me on the lowest dose. I'm on 5 milligrams. I took it yesterday morning, and when I took it, my fasting blood sugar was 179. So it had come down a little bit. And so when I took my blood sugar again later, it came down like 10 points. And then by dinner time, I was at 154. And I felt that was a kind of a safer decline in blood sugar rather than going from 300 and something to 97. So I feel okay taking it. I'm going to be on it for a month before I go see him again. And actually, I see my neurologist the very next day. I see him. The following Monday, I see my endocrinologist in October. So if I'm doing well on the Farxiga, hopefully I can get my endocrinologist to prescribe it so it'll be free. My biggest goal is just to get that A1C back down and stay the crap off insulin. I don't want to go back on insulin. I don't want to. So, I mean, if anything else I'm not passionate about, I'm sure as hell passionate about that. That's for sure. So yeah, I don't want to. Now my blood sugar this morning was 206. Again, not surprising. My white blood count is elevated. You know, all those things. We ate late. I've said that before, that if we eat, like if I eat after 7 or 8 at night, my blood sugar is normally higher in the morning. We ate after 8 because Rob had to work overtime. I had to pick him up at the bus, the train station, and we ended up grabbing food because by that time it was dark and I couldn't grill like I'd intended. So anyway, you guys don't need to know all of that. So my goal going forward is just to keep one foot moving in front of the other. I mean, I don't have a weight loss goal, and I just want to get to the endocrinologist next month and have my A1C be lower than what it was last week. That's always been my main focus in doing this, trying to get the weight off, etc. As far as keto, I've decided to go back carnivore. I know a lot of people, they don't understand it, but it's not on me to teach you. So if you read about it, your body doesn't need fiber unless you're eating carbohydrates. If you're eating carbohydrates, then your body needs fiber to help you eliminate the carbohydrates. If you're just eating meat, then it comes to a point where your body you don't need fiber. You don't need fiber. So I do better with weight loss when I'm on carnivore. January was my best month in weight loss ever. I think I lost 15 pounds, something that month, and I was carnivore the entire month. If you're unfamiliar, some people do carnivore differently. To me, anything that comes from an animal, so eggs, which I still haven't been able to eat, dairy, and then meat, and I'm gonna stick coffee in there because I enjoy it. And my water, my sparkling water with a water enhancer, because that's about the only way I can suck down water. So yeah, so I've been doing that. We buy the hamburger patties, already made patties at Aldi. They're just easier on me and they're quick. I can throw some, I think it's Mitchell Street rub from Pinsy's. So good. That or their English prime rib rub. So good. Throw them on that, throw them on the grill. Less than 10 minutes later, you know, we have dinner. I can put them in the refrigerator. I can heat them up in the microwave and eat them throughout the week. So you're not going to see me tracking. I know, I'll keep going back and forth. I can't make up my mind. But with carnivore, there's no reason to track because you just eat when you're hungry and you don't eat when you're full. So I've been eating pork rinds. I've been eating those hamburger patties, bacon. What else? A lot of hamburger meat just because it's inexpensive and it's fattier. It's a fattier cut of meat. We did have ribeyes Monday night for dinner. We hadn't had steak at home in eons, so I made sure to leave a little room in our grocery budget so we could have them. What else? I gave up my addiction to Lily's chocolate bars. I've never been a chocolate eater. And then all of a sudden I had that salted milk, salted almond milk chocolate bar from Lily's. And oh my word, I wanted them every day, but they're like $4 a bar. So yeah, so I've been trying to stick to carnivore as much as I can, which is still somewhat keto because it's low carb, high fat. So there you go. But yeah, as far as vlogging or, you know, updating, I can only say I will do what I can do because every time I think, okay, I'm going to get back to it and here we go, I'm going to be great, my brain just says, no, it's not going to work like that. So I don't want to make promises that I can't keep. What it boils down to. I like to be a person of my word. So yeah, so this is a long video of a lot of rambling, but I'm doing the best that I can in the situation that I'm in. And that's really all I can do. It's funny because Rob's on Facebook. He and I are friends and I am his only friend. And last night he was like, I haven't seen you post on Facebook. What's going on? And I was like, I haven't posted on Facebook. I don't know that I've been on social media much since like before I went in the hospital in April. Yeah, so if you haven't seen me, don't worry, I'm still alive. I'll try to come on. I'll try to do weekly as much as I can, but I will at least try to, you know, come on here as often as I can. If you're not following me on the Jolly Fat Elf, I've been a little bit more consistent over there. Not much. I haven't posted since last Wednesday. Of course, it's hard to make videos when you're sick, which is just another thing that drags me down. So anyway, bleh. There are some good things in my life. We finally got the results of Rob's colonoscopy a month after his colonoscopy. I told him, I was like, you're not going back to that doctor. I was so mad, but everything was fine. Everything came back benign. He had polyps removed, so thank goodness for that. Roxy's doing great. I don't know where she is. She's probably in the bathroom, laying on the floor by the shower. She's picks the most random spots. What else is happening? Rob was off for 4 days for Labor Day weekend. We were supposed to have friends come up. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it, but we had a nice, restful, relaxing weekend. Things between us are great. So there are good things happening in my life, and I just hold on to those as much as I can and hope, again, that if this is the grieving process, that it passes soon and I can get on with my life. And of course, I haven't seen my therapist in 2 weeks, and sometimes going that long between sessions can be detrimental, but I felt like I was doing okay. So, and the only reason why I haven't seen him is because I go on Mondays. There was Labor Day weekend and I wanted to stay home with Rob, and he wasn't seeing anybody anyway. And then this week he's on vacation. So I'll see him next Monday, and hopefully he can get me on the right path. So we'll see. Oh, if anybody's ever gone through hypnosis, let me know down below. I'm kind of looking into that too. Just, I don't know, just something. So yeah. So thanks so much for those of you who reached out, who have commented. I really do appreciate you. Thank you, those of you who subscribed and they're like, where the hell did she go? I'm here. I promise I will do my best. Like I said, I post a little bit more frequently over at the Jolly Fat Elf, which is my kind of like my business page. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So yeah, so I'm doing the best I can, and I hope that over the next few weeks that things start to lighten up and I feel better and I can get back to filming and doing things that I really do enjoy. So thanks guys, I appreciate you. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.